طيب، بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الحمد لله رب العالمين، وأفضل الصلاة وأتم التسليم على سيدنا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين. اللهم أخرجنا من ظلمات الوهم، وأكرمنا بنور الفهم، وافتح علينا بمعرفة العلم، وسهل أخلاقنا بالحلم، واجعلنا مما يستمعون القول فيتبعون أحسنه. Um, Last time we talked about al-Wahdaniyah, the oneness, and we talked that we proved that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is one in his being, in the being, and in the attributes, and in the actions, in the af'al. So we say في الذات وفي الذات, which is being, في الصفات, in the attributes, and in the actions, which is the um, the أفعال الله سبحانه وتعالى, the actions. Okay. Okay. So from this we have a branch. Okay. So let's see here. From this proof, we have a branch of something that appears to us about the actions. We said that the actions, we have only one door in the universe, which is Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So what about the actions of the human beings? We notice from ourselves that we act, we do something. Yes, we have two types of actions as a human being. We have an actions that we don't have a free will to control, and we have actions that we feel that we control ourselves. For example, here I have a pen. The action of lifting the pen up, that's a free will action, right? But the action of my heart beating, the action of the blood inside the human being, that's not free will action. So if you said that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is one in his actions, attributes, and being, that means that if Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is one in his action, that means that there is no door in the universe, in the existence, except Allah. That means we don't have a free will, right? Or do we have control of our actions? Do we ourselves, for real, control our actions? Are we the doer of our actions? That's the big debate we are talking about now. So you need to know something. We need to know that anything comes from nothingness, from al-adam to the existence, come from the popping up from the nothingness to the existence. It's from Allah. And the action of moving this object from here to here, this action wasn't in the existence, it was in the nothingness, and then it popped up to the existence and it happens. So it was nothingness, now it exists. Okay, we say that anything comes from nothingness to the existence, it's an action of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So we say الفاعل على الحقيقة هو الله سبحانه وتعالى. The doer of all the actions in real is Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. There is no doer of any action in the universe except Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So, do we have ability to do something? Um, no, we have ability, we have qudra, we have a power, but this power has no effect to the actions. Okay. So that means that we don't do our actions, right? So here we say that we don't do our actions. The part of the human being is called al-kasb, okay? The part of the human being from the action is only الكسب الإنسان يكسب أفعاله. The human being share this the part that a human being can share to is being كسب. What is كسب? We are going to talk about it now. طيب. I want to share something here. Okay, so we say here is the thing that the question. First, you said that hmm, first you said that the doer of anything in the universe is Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So the question that comes to our mind now, um, we, the second thing, according to this, so are, we are not the doer of our action. That's correct? Yes, that's correct. So according to that, how Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala judging us, how Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala judging us um, according to our actions. We are not the doer of our actions, even the free will actions. So how Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala give us the accountability at taklif and talk to us to do some things and not to do something else. How's that? So we say that there are two relations of the actions. So here, if I have an action, this action was in the nothingness, right? So here it was in the nothingness. Okay. And then the action existed. In order to pop up to the existence, we need a power. We need here a power that gives this action the existence. So We say that the power is from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. The effective power is from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So the doer of this action is Allah, not us. Correct? Yes, that's correct. So what is the kasb? What is the kasb? We say that the kasb is actually this meaning. Look, the human being has a power, right? The human being has a power. But we know that any object, if here we have an object, okay, this object, in order to move, we know previously an assumption that it needs force 1, F1, to move, right? So in order to move, we only need force 1 to move. Now, if you have multiple forces like F1 plus F1 plus F1 plus F1, all it needs is only F1 to move. So the effect of movement is F1. Even if you have more than this power, like if another F or 3F, all he needs, or all this object needs, is only one F to move. So we say that it's impossible to move by the rest of them. It moved by this one. Okay. In Arabic we say لا استحالة وجود أثرين على مؤثر واحد. It's impossible to have multiple effects on the thing that needs only one effect. Okay. According to this, we say that if okay, according to this, we say that Allah has a power, and the action needs only one power pop up to the existence. So we say that the power that affect in the action is the power of Allah. The human being has a power, yes. The human being has the power, but this power has no effect. But this power somehow has a relation to this action. This relation gives us the feeling of free will. This relation from power to the action gives us the feeling of the free will. And actually, the relation of this action, the relation of this power to this action, it's called in Arabic al-Kasb. Which is كسب الأشعري, the كسب that الشيخ al-Ash'ari explained. Okay. So here we have two things related to just one second. I'm I didn't connect from my iPad the sound. I don't have any sound on my iPad. The mic is not working. maybe from someone else. Do you hear echo, guys? طيب. Sooner and Khalil, do you hear any echo? Maybe this mic is not working. Maybe we can work from another mic.
لا أنا سامع.
جيد. طيب. طيب الحمد لله. So that's what called كسب الأشعري. So again, we have two things you need to know. The first thing is, you said, so we have two power, the power of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and it has a relation with this. The relation between the power of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and this action is affecting to the giving the action ability to exist. So exist. What is the relation here? The relation has no effect. This is the power of insan, the human, not Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. This power has no effect. That's why Al-Imam al-Sanusi, and I think he quotes from Al-Imam al-Qushayri. He said that we are just a body with no free will. We are a soul of no free will in a body of free will. So the question that came again to our mind, that means Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will judge us according to something we didn't do. We say the answer that we find in Kutub al-Kalam, in the books of Kalam, is um, the answer we find in the book of al-Kharidah al-Bahiyyah of here what we say the books of الخريدة البهية شرح العلامة الدردير وشرح الصاوي, the explanation of Sawi and the explanation of الدردير. He says, no, we have a relation which is kasb, and according to this kasb, this is what makes the accountability works, or Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala judge us to this. And then they continue to give um, uh, some objections. They says, okay, this kasb, do you have a free will in it? He says, Al-Alama Sawi says yes. But actually, Al-Alama Sawi, in this hashia, he says that there is somehow uh, um, a free will in this. Then the contradiction came here. They says, okay, who chose, you or Allah? And choosing is an action. So you said that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is the doer of any action. Now the action of choosing, is it yours or Allah? So Al-Alama Sawi says Allah. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala la yus'alu amma yaf'al. That's what he said. And then he says, okay, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will judge us according to something we didn't do that's unjust. That's um uh which which one? Naam. Allah is not asked on his action. That's the answer of Al-Allam al-Sawi. Allah is not asked to his actions. Allah do whatever He wants, Subhanahu wa Taala. So, is Allah Subhanahu wa Taala unjust? We say no. That's impossible. Why? Because what is the what is the unjust? What is the injustice? We say um, the injustice is a being that do something do something to anything that doesn't own or it doesn't belong to him, and all of this creation is from Allah and to Allah. So we are, and all of this existence is his belongings, right? So if Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala did anything to any existence, we cannot call him unjust, because injustice is someone steal from another one. Okay, that's unjust because this thing, it doesn't belong to him. He cannot have an action to this thing that doesn't belong to him. But if I have this thing here and I throw it and I didn't use it, I did whatever I want with it, it's justice because it's mine. But if it's Liam's or Sooner or anyone, so it's not correct to, or it's unjust to do anything with it. Okay. So according to this, we have a conclusion here. The first thing you need to know that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is impossible to be injustice, because the unjust is to do anything and to do something in anything that doesn't belong to you, and every existence that we see and we don't see, every existence is Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala own it. That's the first thing. The second thing is we are we have no free will in a body that feels that we have free will. Okay. And to be honest with you, this thing we heard, and we can read a lot of things, a lot of different things in this matter with different imam and al-madhab al-ash'ari and the ash'arism. Okay. For example, we can see that we can see in al-imam al-baqillani, he said that we own our actions. Al-imam al-Juwayni also said this in some of his books. Al-imam, I heard in muhadara of Sheikh Saeed Fouda, someone is asking him that Al-imam al-Ghazali said that we own our actions, we are the doer of our actions, and so on and so on and so on. But what is settled to our madhab now, until now, what we can find in al-Jawhara, al-Kharidah, al-Sanusiyat, which is we have no free will. We have illusion of free will. And this is at the first time I hear this, that was like 5 or 7 or 8 years ago. I was shocked, and I didn't accept this at the beginning of my search. But after that, I realized that eventually, eventually, um, you have no escape from being um, have no free will. And inshallah, in the very high level, we can read thanks to the Imam al-Fakhr Razi, when he have a very big argument with the philosophers and the Mu'tazilism. uh, we will find that no one can be in existence according to any madhab, according to any madhab, unless he will, or we will see that this madhab is trapped in the um, no free will. Okay, even Mu'tazila and even al-Falasifa. طيب. And then we're going to talk about how in this case, so we have a question here. In this case, where there is no free will over choices, what is the rule of kasb? In Arabic, we say the rule of kasb is there is قدرة حادثة. Let me explain it again. There is قدرة حادثة للعبد. There is an emergent there is an emergent power to the human being. So again, this is the kasb we say here. This is the kasb. This with this relation. This is the kasb. So what is kasb? The kasb is the emergent power that is that has a relation with the action, with the human action, but has no effect. Like this power, effectiveness, it has no effect to our actions. Our action is affected by the power of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, because this action needs only one power to exist. That we need one power for our actions to be exist. Okay, look, any action needs two things to exist actually. The first is a power, and then if this action is ممكن, like we say, what does it mean ممكن in Arabic? In English, I forgot. Possible. So if this action is possible, so we have infinite number of possible choices other than this action. Okay. So we need مرجح. What is مرجح is the reason. So this مرجح has a free will. So this action to pop up to the existence in a certain characteristic. So we have we need a power and we need a free will. We say that the human being has a power. The human being has a power also, but that we need only one power and one free will. Those that gives this action the existence. We say that came from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. What about the power and the free will of the human being? Yes, it has a relation. They are exist and they are emergent, haditha, but has no effect. Because an action needs only one, the action needs only one power and one free will. It's impossible to have two power or two free will. So the relation of the free will and the power, this is called kasb. And if you hear from someone that says kasb is giving us kasb is giving us or kasb is actually free will, this man that says this, he says something that he doesn't understand, or just he is delusion you, to be honest with you. According to Madhab Ash'ari, we have no free will. We just have illusion of free will. And we say that we have to act accordingly. This is al-kasb. This is kasb, and this is the action of the human being. Here we have another question. So, yeah, let's check. Okay, let's. So, has any one of you heard that we don't have free will according to Madhab Ash'ari? So we have here Liam says, does kasb require having the freedom to intend something? Yes, according to Maturidi, that we have a free will. This part, yes, according to Maturidi have another thing and another debate, and I think for the one that find himself has a problem with believing that we don't have a free will, he can choose the belief of al-Maturidi in this part. We can talk about it next time. We can talk about we can talk about المعتقد الماتريدي في الأفعال, the Maturidism belief in the action of the worshippers, al-ibad, the next time, inshallah, and we can compare. But yeah, we can compare. But this at this time, we can say that al-falasifa, the philosophers, they say, yes, we do have a free will, because it's something necessary. Our intuition and our feelings that we do our actions, it's something necessary to believe. Exactly like we believe that the contradictions cannot comes together to the existence. Okay. This is what's the proof of this, and what's the proof of this is our innateness, our fitra, our wijdan. Okay. So philosophers, they says this. Also Mu'tazila, they says, okay, we do our actions, we are the doer of our actions, we have ability to choose, we have a free will. Okay. Um, because of what? Because of the creative power, because of created power in ourselves. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala created a power in ourselves. This power gives us ability to choose, ability to do our actions. Okay. Um, and the Maturidi, uh, they have details in this. So we're going to talk about it, inshallah, next time. Or we can talk about the Maturidism belief, not the next time. We can talk about it after this al-Kharida. We're going to explain al-Barahin, and in al-Barahin, maybe we can talk about it. Whatever you choose. If you want to talk about it next class, we're going to talk about it next class, inshallah, or in the next level, inshallah. You can stop record now, Liam.